Good morning, everyone. This is Naveen Dixet, and I'm an associate professor of horticulture and extension specialist at University of Maryland Eastern Shore. So this is a little bit different from fruits. I will talk about flowers. So we started this work 2 years ago, especially in 2023. First time we started cultivating, especially the dahlia flowers. And this presentation, I will talk about current trend about the floriculture industry in the United States or in Maryland, and main focus will be on dahlia. So why dahlia, why not other flowers? So we'll talk about that. Okay, and this one is my favorite. This is called cafe au lait. So, okay, so size of the floriculture industry in the United States, you can see here in the last 2 decades, it's increased from 24, this is $1 billion, to $72 billion by 2023. So that is almost 200% increase. That means there is a demand of flowers throughout the United States. This is the per capita spending power of consumers in the United States. And you can see here again in 2013, it was just like $91 and now increased to $170. That means folks, people, consumers, they started spending more on flowers. So you can see here in the last decade, 86% increase in the purchase power for especially flowers. If you look at the industry, retail florist shops, almost 11,000. Then wholesaler, 500. Domestic floriculture growers, almost 10,000. And total value of sale in the top 28 states out of 50 is $6.3 billion in 2023. So there are basically top 28 states where growers, they are focusing on cultivation of flowers, and these are the top 10 states. And you can see here, it's like Florida and California, they contribute almost 33% of all the states in the United States. And of course, our neighbors like New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, they are also among the category of top 10, and we are nowhere. So Maryland, Delaware, in fact, Virginia, you will see in a few slides, they are in the rank system, but we are nowhere in floriculture production. So based upon number of operations, so you can see here in the top 5 states, California, Pennsylvania, Michigan, New York, Florida. So there are more than 600 operations in each state. Similarly, you can see here in survey in 2020. So these are the top 15 or 17 states, and you can see here we have Virginia somewhere at the 15th place, but of course Maryland, Delaware, we are nowhere. So this is the opportunity for us. So when our neighbor can grow, we can also grow. And the beauty is here, these states are more north to us. So we have a still better environment. If you look at the jobs and total square feet under the floriculture, you can see here it is 851 million square feet, and which is an increase in comparison to 2022 and 2023. Number of operations with hired workers total around more than 6,500 folks. And average peak number of workers per operation is 6.4 nationally in 2023. Let's talk about cut flower industry in Maryland. So this is how it looks like. So you can see here in 2009, there are only 37 cut flower operations with sale, and it increased to 53 by 2019. So that shows the increase in 43%. That means industry is slowly increasing in our state. Cut flower sale, if you will see in $1 million, so you can see here again, sales increase from $1 million to 1.6. So that is a 61% increase in sale in our state. Dahlia operation, this is the focus. So how Dahlia is doing? So look here, of course, in 2014 there are only 7 operations, now increased to 18. So 157% increase. And the production of dahlia with specialized growers and farmers, they are growing. If you look at the sale is almost 800% increase in the sale during 2014 and 2019, from just $23,000 to $219,000. So dahlia is in demand. So why dahlia? So the beauty, why we want to focus on dahlia? Because dahlia is the flower no one import from the foreign countries. So we have a chance here. So you can see here Peruvian lily. So this is the shipment and import data, and you can see here it's the very recent data, October 29, 2024. So from where we import other flowers, Colombia, Canada, Ecuador, Mexico, Netherlands. So look here, Whatever is there in this picture, we import from foreign countries like Anthurium, Aster, Bells of Ireland, this and that. Of course, pompon is a type of dahlia, but rest, we are growing locally, we can grow. Delphinium, and there are 15 others. So, okay, huge list, each and every flower we are importing from these countries, Colombia, Canada, Ecuador, so far Ethiopia, you can see Italy, Kenya, Mexico, Peru, Thailand. So we are importing it from distant countries, and that causes a lot of pollution. So why dahlia? The first thing is we are not importing it. Second thing is the vase life or the shelf life of dahlia is just 5 to 7 days. That means it's difficult for them to import from their respective countries. Look here, the beauty. More than 20,000 different type of cultivars are known. Flower forms, how the morphology, how they look like, how the beauty of these flowers can be represented by 29 different forms. Size may vary from 2 inch to 10 inch in diameter. That's why we call it dinner plate dahlias, because they are larger than 10 inches in diameter. Color varies from yellow, orange, red, pink, this and that. Of course, vase life is less, so that actually provides us the opportunity. Grow locally, provide them. Vase life is 7 days. Consumer will come again. Hey, it's the second week, I want again, because they are so beautiful. Bloom period in our area, late summer to the first frost. So frost will kill each and everything. There is no such type of tolerance, resistance in dahlia. Okay, so why it is important for our farmers? High value as a cut flower because they are so beautiful, attractive, colorful, so they are in demand. Folks or consumers can be ready to give you more, premium price for these flowers. Market growth, as I already showed you, dahlia market is consistently growing and revenue stream. So beauty of this is a one-time investment. Purchase a tuber, right? Plant it. By the end of the season, one tuber may give you 5 or 10. And you will not believe just one tuber may cost you from $10 to $45. Just one. I'm not talking about bunch. So whatever you want to use for your next season, keep it, and rest you can sell. And you will be surprised, there is an online sale on a Facebook. And you have to reserve, otherwise they will disappear like, even $35 price, they're gone. Within a week, nothing will be available. So revenue stream, flower as well as tuber. Farm to waste movement. So just like farm to table movement, there is a farm to waste movement. Why does it say? Because consumers, they like flowers grown locally. They don't, because if you are importing it from distant countries, they increase carbon footprint. So we don't want pollution in our state. Demand for unique and specialty blooms because, consumers, they are tired of roses imported from Ecuador, pink, red. That's it. No, you can have a variety of color from dahlias. So they are unique, eco-conscious choice. Of course, I just talk about carbon footprint. So grow local. Another important thing is one can, if you are producing fruits and vegetables for CSA, flowers can be the part of CSA. Event industry, if there are marriages, wedding, big conferences, you can provide dahlias for beautification purposes. And of course, there are large number of grant available. For example, in March, there will be specialty crop block grant from Maryland Department of Agriculture. One can apply for that because I don't think anybody is working on dahlias, so you have a chance. Submit the grant and there you go. Yeah, USDA, and there are Northeast here also. Probably in November of this year, first week, you can apply for that also. So let's talk about dahlia forms and sizes. So when you will purchase, you may have notification or coding like this. AA means joint, and the size or the diameter of the flower will be greater than 10 inches. Large, A, and then 8 to 10 inches. So this is how, if you are reading a research paper or in magazines, so they may code different type of flowers regarding these notations. So M is equal to miniature, diameter should be 2 to 4 inches, micro up to 2 inches, and dahlias are native to Mexico and Central America, and this is the guy, Spanish botanist Anders Dahl. On his name, the name of the flower is derived. So there are large number of forms with respect to their morphology, something like formal decorative, so they are arranged symmetrical pattern. So this is like informal decorative cafe au lait, so they are arranged irregularly. So they classify based upon how they appear. So there are large number of classes. Straight cactus, they appear like more, petals are different kinds. So similarly, semi-cactus, incurved cactus. Just imagine 5 flowers, can contribute a bouquet. How much would you like to pay? 12 roses, right, from Ecuador, half of the petals already dead, and in market they cost around $16 per bunch. Lacerated, so you can see the bifurcation of petals. This is ball. So these are globular shapes, so ball, miniature ball, and pompon, and they are classified based upon their size. 3.5 inches, this guy is between 2 to 3.5, this is around 2 inches in diameter. So steelers, so most of them, they are around less than 3 inches, but 3 to 2 inches in diameter. And so these are called steelers, so if less than 2 inches, it's called micro steeler. So same thing is, so these are smaller in size, that means you can fill the space in bouquet. For example, you have two large type of dahlias, so these miniature one, they can fix if there is any gap in between. So water lily, then again micro water lily, again based upon the size. And you can see here, so there are two whorls in this case, outer whorl and second, so it's like there are two dahlias in a one flower. They are called novelty, fully double type of dahlias. And these are called anemone. So here you have a tube-like structure. So these are smaller, but again, different colors can make an attractive bouquet. So you can see here a collar and a ray. So they are called colorate and microcolorate. And these are called orchid and micro orchid. And now there is a combination of colorate and orchid. So this is called orchid. So colorate and orchid. So there is a mixture of the first two. So this is a publication from Maine, and they actually publish their work, and they have almost 65 varieties. They recommend it for mid-Atlantics, but our weather is changing, climate is changing, our soil is different, so that's why we started our own screening work. So these are some of the 65 varieties they listed, and again, these numbers are based upon the recommendation of the farmers, what they want to grow. So if you will go back, so you can see here, cafe au lait or cafe au lait type of dahlias, because they are pink in color, their dinner plates actually greater than 10 inch in diameter, and generally, in weddings, there is a lot of demand of this pink type of dahlias. So that's why they focus on those types. Okay. So how the commercial demands look like. So for example, how a commercial flower look like. So one of the most important thing here is so the length of the stem should be almost 30 centimeter. That is almost equal to 1 feet. And planting generally in the first or second week of May is good, because we just learned dahlias, they are frost sensitive. If you will plant earlier and if there are 2 or 3 leaves, everything will die. And you are done. And just one tuber is almost $35. So you don't want to grow it earlier just wait up to the second week of May, and then you can go. And if you will see here flower numbers, so number of flowers may vary from 27 in some varieties to just only 2.8. That means if you are growing dinner plates, so the number of flowers may be just 2 or at the most 3, because the size of the flower is big, plant cannot support more than 2 or 3 flowers. And if you will see the time to emergence after planting the tuber, sometimes within 26 days or sometimes between 19 days they will appear, the first 2 or 3 leaves. And time to first visible buds, that means you can see here sometimes it may up to within the 70 days or after 1 or 4 days after the planting of tuber. So that varies with respect to the type of dahlia you are growing. So it depends upon what type of variety you want earlier, so that you can start the season as soon as possible. So you have to select variety based upon the appearance of flowers. So this is how our experiments look like, what we did. So this is how commercial delivery look like. So they actually provides you in the form of a bunch. This is from a commercial company. So you can have something, just evolving 2 or 3 leaves, that's fine. This is how a local grower would supply. So commercial, maybe this is $35, but again, if you will survive here, each one is $35. And this is from a local grower, because this guy did a lot of hard work during the winter, remove all the tubers after the first frost, divided them, and then store them, and then that's how you can see the Facebook sale. So they will just send you just simple tuber, and of course they are viable, they will germinate. And there is no difference in the production of vegetative growth, either you plant this one or just one. There is no problem. Their yield, their strength, their vigorosity, Vigorosity is everything is same. So this is how we did it last year. We were very late in the planting because we just got the grant, so we started the experiment for a trial purpose. So these are our 60 feet length beds. Of course, we use black plastic, and width of the bed is 3 feet. We planted these tubers after every 2 feet. And row to row actually depends upon the tractor size, whatever you are using. And this year we are planning to grow all the dahlia flowers under high tunnels, so they will be more beautiful with more quality, no damage. So these are the 3 parts which are most important in a tuber. So you can see here, this is called the crown eye, this is the neck, and this is the tuber. All three parts are required for the successful sprouting of the first 2 leaves. If there is any damage in any of this part, that is useless. It's not going to work. So that's why it is important. For example, after the first frost, you will recover all the tubers, right, from the soil. Then you have to very carefully divide them. And a small mistake, loss of $35. So we will conduct how to separate them, a workshop. And you are most welcome to attend that. So this is how it looks like. When we plant, of course, frost sensitive, the second week of the May is first. And you can see here in the frost in the November first week, this is how our crop is dead. Everything will die. So that's why we are trying to grow them under high tunnel if we can extend the season. So this is what we did we received the first frost in November, and then we uprooted, carefully divide them. Oh no, that's a different thing. So in November 23, we stored it, and then in March 24, this is how, because we just learned, we have to plant into the second week of May. So our target is our plants will be ready by the second week of May. So we are actually saving 1 month. So this is how you can start in March. So in March of 24th, what we did, we just spread out all these tubers, then we covered with the Pro Mix. And you can see here all these trays, they are with respect to a different variety. Okay. So you can see here in March we planted. By the April 8, you can see there are 2 leaves evolved. That means within 15 days. And by the 40 days, you can see how it looks like. So we started our tubers in March. And look here, we have 4 leaves by May 8. That is the second week of May. So now our tubers are ready to plant outside because the chances of frost already gone. In case if you will plant tubers now, so just imagine you already lost 1 month. So this is how under protecting structures you can accelerate your tuber production, and there will be 4 leaves at this stage. Yes, ma'am.
What are your soil temperatures for targeting putting out?
They are not outside.
But when they go out, what is your soil temperature? Because there's folks here from central Maryland, western Maryland. Second week of May not work, but soil temperature.
Yeah, that's true. In our case, I didn't measure the temperature, let me tell you, but by the second week, they're in the ground. At my home, not at the university. And nothing happened. It's in Salisbury. Yeah. So it was warm enough, it's not like very cold. And the thing is, even there is no chance of frost. If your tubers are inside, there is no problem. The problem is if there is 2 leaf and then you get the frost, it will die. Otherwise, it's fine. And this year I'm doing another experiment. We already have 30 snowfall today. All the tubers, they are already outside in the ground. So let me see how many varieties will survive. In 2023, I kept some varieties outside, nothing happened, and they were the best. They were the best. So let's see this time what will be the result and what variety will survive these. Maybe everything die, I don't know. So we planted very late 20 different varieties. So look here, 22nd of July instead of second week of May. And we have first harvest by the October 16th, so 85 days after planting, we started harvest. And in each of these varieties, after the variety name, so that is the length of the stem. For example, in V1, the stem length is just 3 inches. As I already told you, for commercial market, we need at least 12 inches length of the flower stem. So some we have 4, 7, 7, 6, So those are for commercial standards if you are shipping somewhere, but that's okay for our local market. 7 inches, 8 inches, there's no problem. Until unless you can, dip the stem in water, the ways you are supplying with the flowers. So that's okay. So this is how we stored in 2023. So in October, all the plants are dead. You can see here after the frost. Then in November, we stored them. I just cleaned them with water. If you will read literature, they use some detergent, this and that. I didn't use any of these things. I just washed them with high pressure of water multiple times just to remove the dirt. So more organic in my ways. And then overnight, 24-hour drying, you can see here, and then I separate them. And I stored them in perlite and vermiculite 50% mixture. And I store at my lab at 4 degrees centigrade. And in between, after 2 or 3 weeks, I was keep looking, scouting them if there is any gray mold or any fungus. If there is any fungus, I just remove them and throw them away. So I found some fungus in 2 or 3, but still just after cleaning with water, there was no trouble. So this is how it looked like. So in March of 2024, I planted whatever I stored in October of 2023, and you can see here in April, you have a tuber, you have a neck, and from the eyes, you have the first 2 leaves. And in April 2024, and by October 2024, you can see here, this tuber produced 4 new tubers. So this is our money, $35, 35, 35, 35. If you will separate them, there you go. And you may keep one for the next year, right? Or if you want more, there is a more demand from your consumers, there you go, you can plant all of them. This is how you will separate. So you at least need a part of eye. That's the most important thing. In each and every part, you can see you have a tuber, you have a neck, and this area, you don't need too much, just a little bit. Because from one of these areas, there will be a new branch, and that will give you your future stem and flowers. So these are some of our blooms. So how much you want to pay for each book? Look at these people. So, Floodlight, Calvin, Cafe au lait. There's so many different names. Anything. Thank you very much for your patience. And if you have any questions, maybe in coming year I will come with more details on all these varieties. And especially, we're also planning to grow organically. So we have an organic high tunnel, so we are growing these flowers just organically, because organically we are not spraying anything. Maybe we can ask for more premium price, because people just touch, they smell, and if you are spraying it with like all the toxic chemicals, that's not good. So organic stuff.
Do you use a potato digger to dig them up, or?
Just by shovel thingy. This is our first thing. Yeah, so you have to remove it very carefully, because you don't know where they are growing, and sometimes you may damage with the shovel. So, deer, I didn't see any deer attack this year. However, they enjoyed my strawberries, but because this is my strawberry plot, this is my flower. So maybe strawberries, they attract them. But I didn't find any attack on any of these plants. Thank you. Thank you very much.